With that first half performance, we were sloppy in possession, and you know, we were careless in what we were trying to do with the ball, so we need to be better.
Warren, any particular word to Macaulay Gillespie going into this second half, sitting on a yellow card, etc.?
Look, he's smart enough to know what he did and got the yellow card, so he's got to be clever now, and you know, it's all hands on deck for us. We need every available body, so we hope that he's going to be smart and obviously see out the game.
Thanks for your time. And good luck in the second half. 0-0 at the break. Brisbane brought out the best in Ryan Scott in that first half. Can they do the same and find a way past Western United's keeper in this second 45 for a much needed home win? After settling for a point too often lately here in Redcliffe. Champness back on that right-hand side after switching it up with Danzaki late in that first half. No changes from either team, Harps, but the changes are going to be important as this game unfolds.
Well, you look at the bench and there's a fair bit of firepower spread across both benches. Lachlan Wales been in great form. Brad Inman need not to come on against Brisbane and do something for Western United. Bratu on the bench for Brisbane, a point to prove. Alex Parsons been a live wire, can't wait. Anticipating his entry at some point, I can't wait to watch that.
I'm sure he'd love to share the pitch with Alessandro Diamante, showcase his left boot against the Italian maestro. Akbari again with confidence. O'Shea. Lovely little clip over the top of Boreas for Brown. Hung up for Champness. Flag staying down for Joey. Brindle South will track down the ricochet. There is an offside flag belatedly against two, I wonder.
Brindle South in the end. Onside till then. Maybe Champness should have released him with a little reverse pass.
He's an affable character, Warren Moon. Doesn't lose his cool. And this is confirmed. Andy Harper, that sixth sense, who was off.
People say when the ball came off the Western United defender, it was one of those ricochets, not intentional played at situations. South rightly adjudged to be offside, but might have been more for Brisbane. Joey Champness with a clever little reverse pass to his teammate. Brindle South would have been in on goal.
Payne whipping one in. Berisha! Didn't get much of a touch on it. Flag is up for offside, perhaps against Berisha. Boreas was flying in as well. You were just expecting the marksman to bury that header.
Yeah, I thought for all money, Bress was going to hit the back of the net, would have been ruled out. Anyway, it's his best side at goal. Here's a good raid for Brisbane.
Danzaki tried to buy some time for the run of Champness in the middle. Once again, it's Imai winning out in that all-Japanese head-to-head battle.
There's Berisha hovering offside. Good call from the assistant. But he's in the front position. You do expect him to whack that into the goal.
Tonight's assistants, Ashley Beecham on the near side, Anton Shetinen on the far side. With the flag up now. Keeping an eye on Bessart Berisha. He's no stranger to seeing that offside flag throughout his A-League career, but when he gets it right, he's deadly. Swift passing by Brisbane, a little slip by Champness, trying to hold his run and stay onside. Such a difficult occasion for these players tonight to get everything right.
Well, I am looking. There's a lot of them playing in hush puppies again. And particularly on a sodden surface. It's a really strange call from the players. Slipping over. It just shouldn't be happening.
How big should the studs be?
Well, big enough so you don't slip over, but they're dead set hush puppies. They're not going to bite it all in the mud. Of course he's going to go base over.
Champness can play in Brindle South. Back to Joey Champness. And Brindle South shapes in a beautiful ball. He's kept it out again with his feet. Ryan Scott, brilliant. And Wenzel Halls can't quite believe it. Keeps his header down. That's what the coaches say, and I'm going to score.
He's done well again, and he's not wearing hush puppies. I vouch for that. Ryan Scott, 4 great saves. That was a dead set goal for Brisbane until Scott says, not past me, it's not. Settle down now, Speed.
Very funny, Hazel. I'm just thinking of the international audience who tune in to watch the A-League in great numbers, just trying to decipher. Here's Berisha. And Kai Truan keeps him at bay. They love your Aussie slang.
It's not mine. Just use it. Good work from Truan. Moments at both ends of the field. Start of the second half. What a night for Ryan Scott so far.
Just stand him! Just stand him up! Stand him up!
Here's a look at Wenzel Halls with his second header that has been kept out by the feet of Ryan Scott. John Cosmina, any advice for you to young Dylan Wenzel Halls about where to put those headers? Get back to that in a moment after this corner. Have a think about it. As Diamante delivers all the way across the face. Players flying in, including Hamill. Somehow we're still goalless tonight. Not through a lack of goal-mouth activity. Now for the throw-in and not the goal kick. Down to you, Cozzy.
Yeah, Speedy, look at, I think Dylan did pretty much everything right there. He got a little bit of a nudge from behind by one of the Western United defenders that may have just taken the edge off of where he wanted to put it, but generally it was in the right direction. It's just a great reflex action from Ryan Scott. And I mean, we saw him save one with his right foot in the first half. He's done exactly the same with his left now. And Dylan Wenzel Halls has got to be wondering what he's got to do to get on the score sheet tonight.
Here they come again. Brindle South has teed him up beautifully with those balls shaped in from the right.
2 good deliveries, had a good game. They've had the moments, Brisbane.
Right, taking control. Ryan Scott had advanced. Defender did the right thing. Now Hamill. Well, Guarachena. Hamill's the furthest forward.
Really good recovery that from the Brisbane players. It opened up for Guarachena. He had a couple of players to try and hit who joined the attack, and then it took him ages to find an outlet, and that's because the Brisbane recovery was just so good.
And Berisha playing that different role, dropping off and igniting the attack, meant that he wasn't there for the earlier ball through the middle. Diamante turned away in frustration when Guarachena had to go to that wide player on the right rather than keep that attack going. Brisbane's defensive transition on show. Just a little nibble from behind by Corey Brown.
Just a little bit of a tangle of legs, clear foul. Imagine a reasonably safe distance from goal, except that it's Alessandro Diamante over the dead ball.
Diamante delivers. Uzcock has been found, and Jamie Young Happy to let it come to him. And Zaki tried to stretch and control. Western United come again. Arias v Brown. And that time, having lost possession, he couldn't resist the temptation to drag back Corey Brown.
Well, Wooscock, good position, just stretching for that ball, a little bit off balance. Tommy, I'm sure, was going to try and hit that back square to a support. And it was very comfortable for Jamie Young, but a decent free kick. Tommy Wooscock in encouraging space.
Lovely ball. Gillespie for Danzaki. Has to take on Calver, hooked away by Durante. Not too many 39-year-olds around the nation who can do that.
Not without requiring traction after it.
Still dexterous, Durante. And now Akbari into the area, plays for a penalty, and Durante stepped out of the way. Akbari tried to milk it. He's saying there's definite contact. Adam Kersey says, you initiated the contact, not Durante.
We'll see. The bigger question is, why, when he's so through, would he just not go and finish it? Oof, I don't know. I reckon VAR might come into this one, Speedy.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, Andrew Durante's had a bit of a swipe at him.
He's stepping out of the way, Durante, and Akbari keeps on following him. I think that's the way the ref sees it.
Fair enough.
Cozzy, you want to split us?
No, not at all, mate. I agree with you, Speedy. He had no way in the world was that a pen. Ramad Akbari actually was just, I think, left his left leg in there, just looking for it. But just talking about Western United and their defending, we'll just wait to see what happens if anything comes to this action. Brisbane's still in here. This is where they're getting problems. Anything delivered in the box, they're struggling to really deal with things. And if you have to actually look at the height of Western United's defence, they shouldn't be getting beaten in the air by Dylan Wenzel-Halls, who's probably one of the shorter guys on the field. And that could have a little bit to do with them not playing a back three at the moment, because Brendan Hamill used to clear a lot of stuff up.
Durante tidies up this time. Too experienced to get lured into that penalty conceding situation by Akbari.
Well, it's not been Guarachena's night, Speedy. Maybe not relishing the conditions, but Ramad Akbari understandably thinking he was interfered with on the way through, but the assessment was accurate by the blokes who count.
If he was wearing a Stephen Walk shirt, he might have got it.
So where do Western go from here? Because they have got their share of the ball. It's not a complete domination from Brisbane. They've just got a more impressive cutting edge at this point, only denied by Ryan Scott. And Akbari is anchoring the midfield nicely. Diamante's looking dangerous forever. Dylan Parias is in good form, but Guarachena just hasn't turned up tonight. It's not been his thing. He's a very talented player. I've really enjoyed watching him for Western. Maybe watch your score now.
Barisha might try to direct the shot on target after brilliant control and the swivel.
Tough on the turn, even for the best. Which category best sits?
So after making his first start in midfield for a decade, Brendan Hamill makes way just before the hour mark. And here's the return of Luke Dazelle, who was playing great football before an injury concern just set him back for a couple of weeks.
Very impressive youngster coming through, one of many around the league, but looks to have big possibilities. Dazelle.
And Guarachena, Andy Harper sensed that change was coming. Lachlan Wales on. He was on fire, Guarachena, a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Just dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, he has. He hasn't settled since. You're right. In and out of the team, and the form drops, so you can't demand a place in the team, and the cycle continues. Got some firepower on now for Western.
Rasa Barisha created that turnover. Lachlan Wales has set off here. Barisha has seen, Diamante has seen him. He can play him in. And Lachlan Wales off the bench takes less than 30 seconds to open the scoring. What an upsurge in form he is enjoying in this Olympic year. And Diamante didn't need a second invitation to send him through.
Well, this is where the answer was coming from for Western United, and Mark Rudan has pulled the right rein again. Straight off the bench, straight onto the score sheet. Brisbane starts it on halfway by being annoying and winning the ball back. Lachlan Wales joins in. Giselle with a calm, penetrating pass to Diamante. Diamante puts it on a plate for Lachlan Wales, and with his first touch in the game, finds the back of the net.
Instant impact for the super sub. It's his 4th goal in the past 7 games. And if he was onside, which it looked like he was, the goal stands. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, Lachlan Wales, to break the deadlock.
Well, the substitutes combined in that 4-player sequence. Excellent sense and analysis for what was required by Mark Rudan. And Brisbane back on their heels. All the chances have been with the home team till now, and the best chance of the night for Western, and they don't muck around.
Diamante trying to slide Brisbane through this time. Truan is on the stretch. Brisbane maintains possession. Back to the man of the moment, Lachlan Wales. Look at this run being made by Payne. Wales has seen it. Brisbane suddenly looking open at the back after finally being breached, and Uscock couldn't keep his shot down.
There's good space to shoot. Just lost his balance when he went to strike the ball. Revitalised Western United. A terrific goal to separate the teams. Beautifully crafted. And the work from Besart Berisha to start the sequence was really impressive.
And those saves from this man even more important now, as the attack has gone on to give them the lead after he kept them in it. Some stunning saves with his feet and his right hand. O'Shea has his pocket picked again by the double team. Barry won it back. O'Shea slides it through for Chatness. Wenzel Hall's in the middle. Bad idea from Joey.
He got that little bit of space to send the ball across the goal, and Dylan Wenzel Hall just couldn't quite get there.
Well, it felt like less than 30 seconds, but the word is it was 40 seconds from Wales on to Wales back of the net. Pretty handy. Enjoying a bit of banter and maybe some congratulations from Adam Kersey there. Is a good young fellow. Lachlan Wales loves a chat. Right in the Olympic frame with his speed, and now the goal scoring. 4 in 7 is a great return. A young man who only had 2 in 73 before that. Gillespie. NIV Danzaki again. He's been pushing on in search of the equalizer. Warren Moon ponders some changes of his own. Look at that. Western United, with a game in hand on the Mariners and Sydney FC, would join the Sky Blues on 31 points if it stays like this. Leapfrog Adelaide United, they'd be up to 4th. Weren't on the radar about a month ago.
But it could even be better had that goal stood against Adelaide on Friday.
Played finals in their first year last season. Won a final against Brisbane. Beaten by Melbourne City in the end. Missed out on the big dance by just the one game last year. Relieving free kick that Ryan Scott is in no hurry to take. John Cosmina, this would be quite the result for Western if they can go on with the job.
Look, it's a great result for Western United. And, look, congratulations to Mark Rudin for the substitutions. Harps, I think you mentioned just moments before what Western United could do to unlock the Brisbane defence. And one of the first, or the first principle of attack is penetration. And they weren't getting that down this left-hand side with Garachenia. And Lachlan Wales came on straight away. He's making a run in behind. And the last person you want to give space to in the middle of the park in that key area is Alessandro Diamante, and he just split the defence with a well-timed pass perfectly into the path, and balls in the back of the net, 1-0. And you know, I think Western United now are going to go on with it. It's got their confidence, and as you did also mention as well, Ryan Scott's done a great job to keep them in this game. He's kept them alive, and now they've got the lead and the points by the look of it, because I can't see Brisbane getting back into this. It's flat, and Warren Moon does need to do something to spark them into life.
In by Payne, away by Truan. Well, they go for a formation change of their own here at the Raw, I wonder, in the last 25 minutes or so. I've seen them switch to a back four to chase games, but at the moment it's Connor Payne trying to pick a hole. Wales teased it in. He was betwixt and between, perhaps. Looked like more of a crossing kind of action than a shot.
Yeah, he mishit it. Unfortunately, the target was Berisha, got nowhere near it. But he was in great space, Berisha. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how much longer Brisbane wait for their spark. Formation change or not, I'm getting the Parsons kid on as soon as I can.
Here he comes, part of a double change. Jesse Daly, the energy in midfield. Alex Parsons as well. And with Truan going off, which should be a back four for Brisbane. Daly was the starter the other night. And the Alex Parsons project continues, Harps. What do you like about him?
He can play and he's exciting. Succinct enough.
Beautiful left boot. Scored in that win in Gosford against the Mariners. Trying to get involved here in company with Daly. So the two substitutes combined to win back possession for their team. Brown now part of that flat back four. Anzaki dropping off the front line. Brindle South. Gillespie pushing forward. Daly slotting in. O'Shea. So much goes through the Irishmen when they do attack. Champness stringing the passes together here, Brisbane. Patience on display. Now, O'Shea just had it poked away by Dazelle. Ryan Scott able to come. Connor Payne called him into it cleverly.
Well, whilst it hasn't been their best half and best game, Brisbane, they're still well within striking distance of Western United. Just to navigate the hitherto outstanding Ryan Scott. They've certainly got the trickery out there to do it. And the time. But not with passes like that from restarts.
Diamante is around Daly. Parias is looking for Berisha. Not the ball he was after.
Great learning experiences for Jesse Daly. Another good product. The Churchy grammar boy. But you've got to be able to read Diamante at this stage of Diamante's A-League journey better than Jesse did then. He got sold a lemon and bought it. And then was chasing the 37-year-old.
38. Had his birthday this week, as did Durante. So, Western United, chance again. Uscock, who's a big presence at those set pieces.
And an celebrated hero of the team, in my opinion. A lot of waves were made when Mark Redan signed Tommy Uscock. But he's a staple in this team. Provides great bricks and mortar for the Western United cause. And obviously very durable. He just keeps going and going and going and plays with great poise, Tommy Uscock. Doing a super job.
Umai very careful against Wenzel Halls. Here's Parsons. Left foot. Looking at the angle. And now Parsons. The strike. Brindle South. Tap in. 1-1 in Brisbane. And Alex Parsons has an immediate impact as well. The subs are coming to play tonight.
Well, the two who grew up with him, each other linked. Wenzel Halls to the project with his eye in the sky. Forces the save. And Brindle South on the spot. He's been ever present down that right-hand side, Josh Brindle South. He's delivered a couple of beautiful goal-scoring chances. And now he decides to take matters into his own hands. And Brisbane back square at an excellent shot at goal from Alex Parsons. And well anticipated by Josh Brindle South.
Second goal in 4 games for him. Opened the scoring in that win at Bankwest over the Wanderers. And it's game on your Wednesday nights. Yes, the goal scorer again chiming in. Ryan Scott has to deal with it outside his own area. Get back in the field of play, Ryan. You're in a bit of bother. That'll help. Second ball on the pitch. You'll get a yellow card for that, will he? Yes.
Well, it wasn't he that put the ball on the pitch.
But then he kept it.
I know. I know. Whilst we've lauded rightly the substitution by Mark Rudin, let's do the same for Warren Moon. His team needed a spark. He had to get the Wunder kid on. Alex Parsons. And whilst he doesn't score, he made the goal.
Here he is again. And he had grew up one of 3 brothers. His other brother is playing for Sydney Olympic in the New South Wales NPL in goal. So, hey, big bro, you want to go in goal again and I'll test my shooting technique on you?
Would have been an interesting backyard. It's paying dividends for the Alex part of the family.
Yeah, Chris it is at Sydney Olympic in goal. And their other brother, the third wheel, is working for Brisbane tonight. Brisbane Roar is part of their social media team. They're a real football family from the Western Spirit out Ipswich way. Grew up around the club, as you guys found out in that wonderful interview in Gosford the other day. Here's Berisha. And Parias with a tame shot in the end, and the senior citizens say you need a better option than that. Uscock didn't quite get the angles right to release Calvert. Shows the intent, though. Both of these teams want to go up in 3 points, not ones. And the final 15 minutes will be an end-to-end battle your sets. First time in 5 meetings that both teams have found the back of the net.
He's done him again. Alessandro, getting as close as I can, sir. Diamante. The card quite right. Now he's getting the finger treatment.
Third player in the book tonight, along with Scott and Gillespie. Dazelle plays with a swagger. Wales held up by Brindle South. Delivers pretty tidily to the back post, but no one there to put pressure on Brown. John Cosmina, it's set up nicely here.
Yeah, look, it's certainly come to life, although it has flattened off since Brisbane did get that equaliser. Not so much from Brisbane's point of view, obviously, but I think both teams are probably going to be a little bit wary now about being too adventurous for the sake of losing the extra 2 points they can gain tonight. So, look, it was a great substitution once again by Warren Moon. We talked about Mark Ruden's substitution with Lachlan Wales. Alex Parsons was actually watching him, and if you think back to the Central Coast game last week, he came in from the right-hand side and scored a wonderful curling goal around the keeper with his left peg. This time he's just beaten the man hands down, first defender, and then cracked one across the face low and hard. And Ryan Scott had no option but to parry it into the path of Brindle South. So he's a clever footballer, Alex Parsons, and I think he's got a decent A-League career ahead of him. I coach a young kid at one of the other GPS schools that plays or was playing in the Royal Youth team with Alex Parsons in the NPL up here in Queensland, and he speaks ever so highly of him and how he just finishes things so comfortably, and being top goal scorer in the NPL here in Brisbane, and also at training he's just a joy to train with apparently. So it's like you said, a great football family. It's a great football story.
Wenzel Hall's fouled on this occasion. Eventually the free kick is taken. Crowd trying to get into it and inspire their team. For a moment, Lachie Wales was going to have to be substituted when we saw the universal sign, but he's going on for now.
But he's not 100%. You can see him grimacing. Give him a minute. Minutes left to settle this one. But he's come on to effect, so of course Mark Rudin will give him all the time he thinks he needs.
Diamante, he wanted Wales to be going in behind. In the end, he said, right, I'll work it through Barisha instead, and now he's got the set piece.
And Jesse Daly again, the recipient, on a yellow card. He squared up 3 times against the former Zurich international, and he's come up short 3 times. It's a great learning curve, however.
Alex.
Well, Diamante v Jamie Young in the final from a long way out on a really tough angle. Picked out the top corner on that occasion. Surely he won't go for goal here. He's looking for Uzcock instead. And now Dazelle ricocheting around. Barisha on the turn. Still Barisha. And flicked home by Durante, who's claiming it. Saying there's a handball as well. They were celebrating like they'd scored to go 2-1 up, but the flag never went up. The goal never was awarded, and VAR might need some time to check it all out.
Well, that, Speedy, alluding to your early reference to under 8s, was under 8s, and then some. Just the honeypot. Great work, Jamie Young. Not to be outdone by Scott at the other end of the field. It's a brilliant right hand from the Brisbane custodian. Staying alive, and the Brisbane players staying alive. Did that ball cross the line? That's one of the claims, at least.
Well, how good is that by Corey Brown? Because he was well behind the line and got back to keep it off the line and not getting over it. Parias withdrawn. Brad Inman on to face his former club. He played 25 times for Brisbane before heading to India. Aren't those players who headed off to India and are now back in Australia grateful for the way they were able to get back in time? When you look at what is going on in that part of the world as well, we wish everyone the best in India. All the Australians stranded at the moment over there, including Eric Partaloo, a former Brisbane Roar man, of course.
Yeah, so quite right to say that, Speedy. David Williams as well. I think Roy Krishna maybe from an A-League interest. So, I mean, it's just a horrible situation. Shouldn't labour on it, but we do send our thoughts out to the football brethren who are stuck there, and we wish them all the very best. It was Partaloo as a Brisbane player who delivered one of the top couple of A-League moments in the history of the comp. Wales has done his bit here. So does the ball cross the line? Not there.
No. Was Durante onside? Parsons rises and heads it on to Wenzel Halls. Big chance! Brisbane have turned it all around. Dylan Wenzel Halls, goal number 8 this season. And Parsons is off the bench with 2 assists, if you don't mind. What a cameo from the first-year player.
Well, a terrific turnaround. Or I might even say justified, given the early work of Ryan Scott to deny us. But the Western defence all at sea, and an unusual error from Tomoki Imai, who has just been outstanding pretty much every game he's played. But he was caught unawares there. Parsons to Wenzel Halls, to the back of the net, to a 2-1 lead.
And that takes him into the top 10 all-time at the Brisbane Roar. Level with Dimi Petratos on 15 for the club now. Western United enjoyed that 1-0 lead given to them by Lachlan Wales on the hour mark. But then on 72 minutes, Brindle South, and 82 minutes, Wenzel Halls, to go from 1-0 down to 2-1 up. And hang on a minute, VAR wants to have a look at something. Will the goal stand? And we're looking at a handball off Wenzel Halls on the control here. Yes.
Looks like it. No goal.
That is an eagle-eyed find from behind the goal.
Yeah, no goal.
Well, that's enough of an angle. We don't need to go to this one. We've established it comes off the hand and it leads directly to a goal. So Adam Kersey will have to chalk this one off, and we'll be back to 1-1.
Well, there's an escape for Tomoki Imai, who I can't remember putting a foot wrong since he's come to the country. And he was just outpointed here. And in the old days, that probably would have stood for not an unintentional handball. But now, any contact with the hand in the immediate lead up to the goal and it's rubbed out. That went against Western United in Adelaide a few days ago, and it goes with them tonight in Brisbane.
And even next season, that'll be chalked off as well, despite the adjustment that has been made by IFAB. The handball occurs off a teammate. A couple of passes before, then it won't be chalked off. So just another A-League roller coaster night for you.
Well, it's been a really entertaining second half. A couple of great goals. Big talking point, although no controversy around that. Second effort from Brisbane, but disappointing for the kids in combination again. Here's the first moment Does that cross the line, the whole of the ball? The officials say no. In all probability, they got it right.
Don't forget, double-header tonight on a Wednesday night. Stay up and watch this one. Perth against Melbourne City next. Jamie McLaren, a chance to bring up triple figures in the A-League. Become the second man after Bessar Berisha to achieve that. Here's Parsons! And it was on target. Ryan Scott flew into action again. Champness. Deflections off MI eventually for another corner.
Well, you're talking about impact in a game, Speedy. Parsons has come off the bench. He's touched the ball 3 times. Once for a goal that stood, once for a goal that's been rubbed out, and now to force a save at full stretch. You can't get much more out of a sub late in the game.
Bench being utilised again. The goal scorer, Brindle South, makes way. Goal Mabratu. Jack Hingett will come on like for like for Brindle South. Champness departed at the nearest possible point. Already seen one striker come off the bench and score within seconds this evening. Can Goal Mabratu match Lachlan Wales here? Get on the end of the attacking set piece, and it eluded everyone, including Uscock. So Bessar Berisha won't see out the 90 minutes. How quickly they forget, eh?
Guys, best copter.
Two-time championship winner with Brisbane, and now they're giving him that kind of reception, Cozzy.
Yes, Tommy!
Yeah, no, and he wasn't too pleased with it either. He had a little look up to the main section of the crowd that was booing him, but they're on his case as well when he got that tackle in the first half, and I think a lot of the crowd thought he made a bit of a meal of it because he got up and jogged away afterwards. But that's just best. He's a character. You love him or you hate him, but the thing is he's great for the game, and that's the important thing.
Reverse ball from O'Shea. Mabratu tried to put the move on MI, and it breaks for a corner. Last touch off Weston despite the protests. Decent delivery from this man a moment ago, but everyone had committed to that near post area. Do they make the adjustment? Milanovic, the latest sub, guarding that near post area. In by O'Shea. Punch clear by Scott. Jesse Daly tidies up. Gillespie. Looking for goal or looking for teammates? Doesn't matter now.
It was a good effort. Nice burst from Jesse Daly to keep the attack alive. Strong punch from goalkeeper Scott to clear the immediate danger, but the ball came back quickly. Still time for a winner here. Coming home really strongly.
Here's Calver. How's the delivery? Pretty handy, but Scott Neville with the early read. Here he is, young Parsons. Diamante kind of turn. Farms it wide. Kept on running too, Parsons. Opened up this space for Wenzel Halls to go for goal. Sliced it well wide in the end.
Well, he doesn't need much more than that to be encouraged to shoot. Lachlan Wales got very aggressive instincts when it comes to goal scoring. He's had a good season, far from the finished article yet, however.
Calvert proving a useful outlet. 4 minutes being added on. Milanovic unable to hold it up. Parsons with Uzcock winning it cleanly with those long legs of his, cleverly. Here's Inman. He expected Wales to move into that space.
Oh, I think we can get this one down.
One more look at this. Durante is probably offside anyway if his ball eventually did cross the line, so we can forget about the debate on goal line technology, etc. I think offside would have got him anyway on that one. If you're screaming out at home, Western United fans.
For a chip in the ball. Suffice to say that the match officials have done a great job tonight.
Parsons to Hingett. Daly helping it on. Movement in the middle for Brown. And the header from Parsons, he can't believe it came all the way through to him.
Yeah, it didn't look overly convincing. It was still a bit of a chance. It was a beautiful first time switch or help. More than a switch from Jesse Daly out to Corey Brown. Good midfield play from the Brisbane man, and Corey Brown's ball into the danger area was telling. Parsons regretfully couldn't do better.
It's another game where the 5-sub rule has breathed life into the contest and created so much drama. Let's hope it stays around for years to come. Plenty of chatter out there midway through stoppage time. Uzcock and Neville not letting up. Durante goes long. They were talking that one over. The Western United bench, and Connor Payne didn't read the script. Straight offside. Not far away from the final minute of the night here. Before we head to Perth, Melbourne City, top of the ladder, taking on the Glory. Tony Sage getting his boots ready to play ball boy tonight. If you're not up on that news, watch this space. Adam Peacock and Mark Bosnich to take you through it, I think. Brown, clever ball. Danzaki! Oh, what a way to win it! In the final minutes, Brisbane do break through and do turn it around for a priceless 3 points. They go from 8th to 5th with the massive moments. And Riku Danzaki, goal number 7 this season. What about the poise that he showed there?
Well, if he wasn't a fan favourite before tonight, he will be now. Corey Brown measures things, drops it over the top beautifully. Imai beaten again. Quite how Western United didn't pick up Danzaki, who was brilliant to the near post. What a find he's been. What a moment to bob up and hit your 7th goal for Brisbane Roar. And what a welcome of the applause for the match winner, Riku Danzaki.
Joint top scorer now at the Brisbane Roar. What a future he has in the game. What recruitment from Warren Moon. not just plucking them from NPL level, but also dragging a young player out of Japan who wasn't getting as much game time as he might have liked at that level, but he's playing week in, week out in the A-League and thriving. Late set piece here for Western. And late substitution. Another defender on, the extra height to contend with this set piece as Wenzel Halls can make way.
One last chance to deny Brisbane and Riku Danzaki from that match-winning moment. Great comeback from the Raw. Great second half from Brisbane. And Diamante drop one on the spot for Western to equalise.
Flotman just on for his third appearance in Brisbane colours since joining from Sydney. Goalkeeper is up after being beaten at his near post a moment ago. Diamante goes for goal. Ricochet somehow kept out. In by Payne. And nearly in the top corner. That is surely that.
Well, there can't have been a closer finish to a game. Young onto the post, into the melee. Macaulay Gillespie on the line to hook it clear. How does it not go in? Twice.
Finishes don't come much more dramatic than that. Riku Danzaki in the 94th minute with a terrific finish at the near post to claim all 3 points, but Western United still had time to nearly snatch an equaliser. He's the toast of Brisbane tonight, and the contribution of this young man caught the eye again. Western United, their struggles on the road continue. Just 2 wins and a draw to go with 6 losses away from home, and they're on their Kentucky tour, as their coach dubbed it at the moment. Brisbane surge into the top 6 with a 2-1 victory to remember over Western United. The A-League, when the game is on the line, they just keep on going for the winner, and it's Brisbane who found it tonight.
Terrific second half. They had moments in the first half. Ryan Scott to be thanked by Western United for keeping them in the game. And then Mark Rudin makes the key change. Lachlan Wales scores the goal, but that wasn't to deny